I'm about to make some. I'm about to make some people mad. How y'all doing? Second consecutive upload. I never do that. Also, I only have like 22 subscribers, so I guess it doesn't. I shouldn't be bragging about that because I have no one to upload to. Anyway, I'm here to talk about the Clippers and the Timberwolves. Two great teams. Two people who are gonna run the West. Ooh. They got some rough riders down there in the Clippers. On the Clippers, you know, John Wall, this all-star point guard who isn't an all-star anymore at all, who can't defend, is terrible efficiently, but he scores 20 and 10, but that's on a trash team. But it's still John Wall. Kawhi Leonard, who hasn't played in 2 years, and Paul George, who hasn't played in 1. So, obviously, the Clippers are going to win the championship this year. Oh, just saying, we got rough riders down there in L.A. No, like, so that's a really energetic intro, but the Clippers aren't winning anything. I don't understand why people are immediately going to the Clippers now that they have someone. It's been this way since Kawhi's got there, by the way. Clippers add Nicholas Batum. It was like, oh, we got rough riders. Nicholas Batum, he plays defense and hits threes. Like, bro, no, he doesn't. Dude averaged like 2 points per game. He didn't do that. He averaged like 6 or 7, but he still was not good for the Clippers. Norman Powell, he's a rough rider. He shoots threes and plays defense. No, again, he averaged like 12 for you guys. Again, these people always are the overrating of the Clippers is insane. Now that they got a washed-up point guard in John Wall, a washed-up point guard who shoots 45% from the field. No one brings that fact up, right? I know percentages don't mean much. He's averaging. Here's his averages. Like, what? He averaged 20 1 year? I don't remember. He came back. He averaged 20 and like 7 great numbers on the Rockets. Without Jay, and this was, I think, the year before Jalen Green got there. They didn't have anyone. Yeah, they had Christian Wood. No, they didn't. They didn't even have Christian Wood. They had DeMarcus. John Wall was the only player on that team. Christian Wood wasn't there yet. So, yeah, of course he's going to average 20 and 7. John Wall's the only guy who can do anything on that team. Yeah, it was on terrible efficiency, too. I don't care what anyone says. 45% from the field, 32% from 3, and 71% from the free throw line? And he averaged 3 turnovers a game? He was not good on the Rockets. Very overrated on the Rockets. Paul George, great player, terrible in the playoffs. That's all I really need to say. Except for last year. Last year, after that, I should be specific. After leg injury, Paul George is terrible in the playoffs, except for a few select years, like last year, and I think 2014. No, it was just last year. Last year he was really good. Kawhi, he hasn't played in 2 years. People really forget to mention the fact that he's not the reason the Raptors won a championship. The Warriors had multiple injuries on their team. Boogie, Clay, and KD were out. He also had Kyle Lowry, Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, Marcus Gasol, Serge Ibaka. Just a really good defensive lineup. But Kawhi's the reason. Fred VanVleet's not a good defender. I should probably fix that. But Kawhi's the reason they won the championship, not the team. Or the fact that the Warriors almost took them to 7 games without KD, Clay, or Boogie. Just with Steph. Steph almost took him to 7 games. So, Kawhi hasn't proven anything to me. He hasn't won anything since the Raptors, right? Or he hasn't won a legit title since he was on the Spurs with Tim Duncan, right? All respect to the Raptors. I love the Raptors. Great organization. Vince Carter's one of my favorite players of all time. So is Kyle Lowry. Not really one of my favorite, but he's one of my favorite point guards of all time. Anyway, yeah. So, Kawhi hasn't won a legit championship since the best power forward of all time was on his team. Crazy. And the greatest 6-man ever and one of the top, 20 point guards ever. Obviously, the Clippers are going to win this year. Name anyone outside of those 3 that's on the team. You can't. You can't name anyone outside of Kawhi, Paul George, and John Wall on the team. Yeah, Reggie Jackson and Zubac. But besides those five, I don't know anyone else on the team. Maybe because I don't know basketball, but also because the Clippers aren't doing anything this year. At most, they're gonna get eliminated in the third round or in the conference finals. Not worst. At best, they're gonna. At worst, they get eliminated in the conference finals. That means they make the finals. They're not going to. At best, they're a third round exit. Right. At worst, they're a second round. They're a second round team regardless. The Clippers are good enough to make the second round every year. Obviously, that's not out of the question. Obviously, worst second round exit, best third round exit. They're not a finals caliber team in my opinion. They still got the Warriors to deal with. They have the Suns to deal with. I take the Mavericks over them because Luka owns Paul George and Kawhi. No, I'm just joking. Because Kawhi and Paul George beat him every year they play. He doesn't own them. Really does because he didn't really have a good team. Doesn't matter. I'll take the Suns. I'll take the Warriors. I'll take the Mavericks over them. I'll take the Blazers over them. Yeah, I said it. I'll take the Blazers over the Clippers. 100%. It has nothing to do with the fact I'm a Blazers fan. At all. Promise you. Totally not biased. I swear. No, obviously I'll take the Clippers over the Blazers. The Clippers are the fourth best team in the West in my opinion. Great. But not good enough to win a championship. You still have to beat the Warriors, buddy. They still have to beat the Warriors, Suns, and Mavericks. And now I move on to the Timberwolves, baby. Woo-hoo-hoo! They're about to be the first seed in the West. Completely disregarding the Timberwolves, the teams I've mentioned before. Yeah, the Timberwolves got it. They got Rudy Gobert and Cat. They fixed Cat's inside problems. They fixed Cat's interior defense problems. No, they didn't. Besides, what? Okay, this is about to be a huge rant on Rudy Gobert because I really don't like Rudy Gobert. What does Rudy Gobert do outside of just blocking a shot and getting a rebound? He doesn't play good perimeter defense. Yeah, he averages 15 points per game, but that's because of his point guards getting him the ball. He does no post skills. He doesn't have a mid-range shot, and he's not really dominant in the post where he can just back you down. Rudy Gobert's null on offense. He's not good on offense at all. He's terrible at free throws. He can't shoot three. He can't hit a mid-range. I've seen him miss a layup. Right? Great defender. But I'm going to be honest. Kind of overrated. Yeah, he has 3 Defensive Player of the Years, but a lot of those are because he's the only big man who can really impact the shot defensively nowadays. Obviously, that's an exaggeration, but Rudy Gobert is a very overrated defender because here's the thing: they need to hide him on defense. They need to hide him. If you need to hide someone on defense, that means they're not a good defender. At all. I'm not, obviously, he has 3 Defensive Player of the Years. He's an amazing defender, don't get me wrong, but very overrated for what people are calling him. Cat's the worst trash talker in the league. Cat's a little baby. I feel, not a little baby, I do feel bad for him because of what happened recently during COVID with his family. So, no offense to Cat. He's not a baby. He's soft. He's soft. Yeah, you could be like, that's harsh. His family was his family was dying in COVID. That's harsh. Da, 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 da. Look, I care. Obviously, that's really sad, and I feel so bad. I do. That sounds so mean. But at the same time, I'm talking about basketball. I'm not talking about off-the-court antics. You're here to hoop. You haven't proven anything to me. Yeah, you played amazing in last year's playoffs. So maybe I am trash talking Cat a tiny bit, but he's the worst trash talker in the league. That's all I can really say. Amazing offensive player, a very underrated defender. I was still on Rudy Gobert, I'm gonna be honest. Like the Rudy Gobert slander was still in the back of my head, so I kind of pushed it on the Cat. My bad, Cat. My bad. You're 100. I feel bad. You played amazing in last year's playoffs. Cat's an underrated defender. I do want to say that. People say Rudy Gobert's there to fix Cat's defensive problems. Don't know if you know this. Cat impacts a few shots. Cat gets a good amount of rebounds, and Cat gets a few blocks a game. Obviously, that's not all defense is for the big man is blocks. But come on, He's not the worst defender ever. He's decent. I'll say that. Decent. Don't really have much to say about Anthony Edwards. That guy is a beast. One of the best draft stalkers in the league. Can back it up. Dude's a beast. Anyway, D'Angelo Russell, snitch. Terrible last year's playoffs, averaging like 12. Got dunked on like 30 times by John Morant. Yeah. So, in reality, they only have 2 players who can play. And Rudy Gobert. I don't see the Timberwolves doing much. I just went on a tangent about Rudy. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, if you want to say the Timberwolves are the 5th best team in the West, go ahead. But in reality, no team in the West is winning. Because this is the Milwaukee Bucks all the way, baby. Giannis is that guy. And anyone who says he's not, I don't know what to tell you because he's the best player in the league. He's improving. I think he'll shoot 33% from 3 this year. That's what I think. That's not a promise. Don't hold me to that. Please don't hold me to that. But, yeah. I'll make a different video about the Bucks. They are that team, baby.